I look at what's happened here for the last 100 years, it's actually all about salvation.
One of the most beautiful islands in the Hauraki Gulf, I'd say.
If you can imagine what this island's going to look like in 10 years, it's just going to be magic.
It's opening up a new treasure in the Hauraki Gulf to the public.
It's very, very important that we preserve islands like this in their natural form for young people to see in the future.
This mechanism of having a private trust working with the landowner to give public access is a way forward to managing what are some of our really supreme natural resources in New Zealand.
Rotoroa Island has been in the ownership of the Salvation Army for over 100 years. They've set it up as an alcohol rehabilitation centre. So they ran it here for men only for the first period of time.
For a lot of men, this was their home, their refuge. This was, for a lot of people, the turning point. It saved many people's lives.
Oh, I had a bad alcohol problem and drugs and that. So I come here, went off for a couple of months and then come back as a volunteer. It's the only way I can get back. I feel secure here and I've been here ever since.
The Salvation Army contacted us in 2005 when they were soon to be moving their treatment facilities from the island onto the mainland. They had a very strong emotional attachment to the island, obviously, and very quickly it became clear that their preferred option was to maintain some involvement in the island going forward long term.
I was aware back in late 2005 the Sallies were selling the island, or they'd vacated the island and closed down their rehabilitation. And I was separately aware that some friends of ours, Neil and Annette Plowman, they were looking to do something significant in terms of a gift to the people of New Zealand.
We were looking for an environmental project where we could basically create a park, and the island was vacant. So we said, well, why do we lease it? If you won't sell it to us, we'll lease it for 100 years from you. And this was over about a 2-year period. And eventually we agreed.
So we've actually leased the island for 100 years. We have prepaid the lease, and we've been nearly 4 years developing the island to open it to the public. So what the benefactors are essentially doing is they're gifting access to the island for the next 100 years. So it's a very, very special project.
The vision for Rotoroa Island is to create a public day park to really restore the natural character of the island back to its kind of former glory.
I worked to a plan that was developed by Boffa, and they worked with John and the trustees to look at how they might best revegetate the island and bring it back to a coastal lowland forest that it once would have been.
We have a fairly substantial planting program which consists of mirror planting as much as possible based on what grows well on surrounding islands. We have put in a couple of hundred very large pōhutukawa trees as feature trees, principally around Home Bay. So I would say 2/3 of the island will be planted in native trees.
The Trust's vision is to integrate people and conservation and art. They all fit really naturally into the landscape.
With trees and walkways and picnic areas, and it'll be just postcard material, I reckon it's going to be.
It's just going to be alive with colour. And already the bird song, we're getting so many more birds down here, and we're going to encourage the bird life, maybe introduce some species of birds.
It's all about the balance of nature, so once we restore the forest and the weka population gets up and other native birds come back and are reintroduced to the island, this is going to be a really significant place. A place for people to interact with the natural environment freely.
This island to the Trust means that we have been able to create something for the environment. We were able to put back to the environment and the wildlife, and that's really important.
One day I'll leave this island and I'll be handing this on to someone else, and I'm excited about coming back in future years and going, wow, look what it's become.
Well, Rotoroa Island means sense of belonging, some place I can belong to. I'd like to see it just develop and just keep going and well looked after.
I think if I came back in 10 or 20 years' time, I'd like to see the forest up and away with lots of diversity and lots of birds in it. I'd just like to see people enjoying this environment.
It's a really important project in terms of ongoing conservation of New Zealand. It'll be important in terms of tourism for the country, and it's important from the Salvation Army's perspective that they can visit it and enjoy it just as other members of the public can.
Knowing at the end of the day that the people of New Zealand will be able to enjoy it, tourists to New Zealand and within New Zealand will be able to come here. It's only an hour from downtown Auckland, so we think it's pretty special.
It'll be a wonderful place to come in the future. It'll just be absolutely magnificent.